morning, good morning, good morning. Miss Aurorah is almost ready to face this day. I want to thank all of you. I just love the fact that you are emailing, telling Miss Aurorah about what has happened to you at some of these financial institutions, okay? So in this video, I'm going to answer the question for those of you who emailed after watching the previous video about the payable on death trust account at the bank, right? You're telling Miss Aurorah that you have had your accounts closed, and some of these reasons that you were given as to why your accounts were closed, you're not understanding why the bank closed your account, right? So in this video, I'm going to share with the secured entrepreneurs why the bank closed your account. Why does the bank close your account? Okay, and I'm going to answer this young lady's question, okay, specifically in this video. Is that all right? Okay, so secured entrepreneurs, for those of you who do not know, I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and this is the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. So the first thing I want for the secured entrepreneurs to know is that there are no federal banking laws that govern how or when a financial institution can close your account. Okay, so since there are no federal banking laws that state when a bank can just close your account, they can do whatever they desire to do. Each bank has their own terms and conditions for doing this. Okay, now how do you know, as the secured entrepreneur, how this is happening? Well, the terms and conditions are on the deposit account information that you get. When you open up an account, you know you're going to get these documents, right? Normally in the terms and conditions, it's going to state that the bank can close your account at their discretion without giving you prior written notice. This is the first thing that I want the secured entrepreneurs to really understand, because you're emailing, and I want to thank you for emailing. Please continue to do so at info@AurorahDayConsulting.com. You are pissed off in these emails that you went to the bank to create a transaction. You may have gone to the ATM machine. Somebody said that you wrote a check and the check bounced and you were so embarrassed and you tried to figure out what was happening, and then you found out that the account was closed. Okay, right? It's very interesting, and it's really not funny, because what's happening is that it is up to the account holder, okay, to know what you have agreed to. So when those documents come out, if you're an individual who goes into the financial institution, because you're going to sign a signature card, and most of the secured entrepreneurs know that if you do not manage an entity, okay, they're asking you who else owns more than 25% of this company. Whoever, if you say that you only own 25% or you own 50%, there's somebody who owns another 50%, or there's 4 people and we own 25% each, all 4 people have to roll up in there and sign that signature card, right? So if you do not manage the account, okay, now you've got some other situations going on, and I'm reading that in your emails, that some of you had some real situations, right? So when you're in there and they pull out, they print those papers and they let you sign a signature card, and one of the papers has the routing number, the account information, you need to ask the representative to highlight the terms and conditions, and you need to start asking, what are some of the reasons why I would just so happen to have my account closed. Like, nobody really thinks about this, okay? You're not really paying attention to any of this until it really happens to you. Representative should be able to point you to the section of the document that speaks to account terminations. And you will see that the bank will say they have the right to terminate an account. They have the right to close an account without prior written notice. Some banks may say that they'll notify you. Some banks may say that they will return your deposit within a reasonable time, okay? They will return your deposit within a reasonable time, right? So that's like the first thing I really want to address with the secured entrepreneur is that when you are opening up these accounts, whether they be because you are managing an account or you have partners and you are all going in to sign this account. Now, for those of you who are opening accounts online, because we know that most secured entrepreneurs, you have to deal with the business department and you can't deal with it in the bank, so they're asking you to complete this thing online. You will have documents, okay? And instead of just scrolling through and check, yes, I read it, because they always say, you know, you read this and that and that, and you say yes, and you don't even print the stuff up. You need to print those documents, okay? And I'm telling you, read everything. Go down the line, highlight some stuff. If you feel the need to make a phone call to that establishment to ask some questions, somebody is going to be able to assist you, okay? So let me get that out the way. Now, to answer this question, all right. One of the reasons why the bank is going to close your account, we already know, is due to inactivity. Now, the problem that a lot of you have had in the emails, you're saying that you put money in the account. You were not aware that the account had fees. The account had fees as long as you did not have a certain amount of money in there. So what the bank began to do was take their monthly fees. And once they took enough monthly fees, basically they took all your money, right? They closed the account. How did you know they closed the account? You stopped receiving emails from them, okay? Because if you go paperless, they're going to send you an email every month about your account statement, right? And they're going to show you how much is in the account and all that stuff. So you're saying you stopped receiving the emails. So that's when you were triggered that something is going on with the account. Let me check. And then you found out you couldn't log online. You couldn't log in online because they closed the account. And then others of you said that you stopped receiving the statements in the mail. So you were not paperless. 1 month you were saying to yourself, I didn't see the statement come in. So I called and I found out that I no longer had an account. And they told you that they closed the account due to inactivity. Well, little do people really want to acknowledge and know, the bank actually says, this is what they say, that it costs for them to keep your information online. It costs for them to print a piece of paper and mail it to you. We know that postage is not free, right? So they say they are accruing fees to keep an inactive or dormant account alive, which is why they don't have any problem. Hey, if you don't want to put any money in the bank, if you're not going to conduct your business properly, we don't have a problem with taking our fee, okay? And then eventually closing the account, because it is costing us to continue to keep your information online, continue to send you emails, continue to mail you stuff, okay? It's costing us. So we're going to mitigate our cost by closing this inactive, dormant account. Boom, okay? The next thing that I want to address, and this is serious, right? And Ms. Aurorah has been told this about certain clients on several occasions, okay? And one of you said this, okay, in your email. You were told that your account was closed due to suspicious activity. Suspicious! But you, till this moment, do not know what was suspicious about your activity. This one gave me a little chuckle, Okay, so here's what Miss Aurorah wants all of the secured entrepreneurs to know. If in fact you were ever told this, okay, are you ready? Now I want to say this first. There are times when the employees at your financial institution, okay, they have their own hang-ups, their own opinions, their own prejudices. I'm just gonna go here, okay? They've got their own problems. They're human beings. And sometimes they are not acting on behalf of that financial institution. They are not going along with what the bank would actually do or how the bank would actually treat a customer, okay? One of these kids is doing their own thing, basically. Sesame Street failure, okay? That's what's happening, okay? So there have been times, and Miss Aurorah has experienced this, herself. I have gone into financial institutions with clients, okay, on a few different levels. And there have been times when I had to ask to have certain things escalated to an individual who is more knowledgeable. So you always have to be professional. You can't start getting rowdy, about it. I would like to escalate this to an individual who has more knowledge about these things, okay? No offense, You gotta be real kind, because you immediately recognize that this individual is having a bad day. You might be having a bad life. Maybe you don't like your job. So now when I come in and I'm all sexy, fancy, smelling fine, you got a problem. Okay, but we're gonna remedy that. Okay, so now you were told, oh, this account was closed due to suspicious activity. Now, if you cannot show me that you reported this to the federal agencies, if you cannot show me that you reported this to the Department of the Treasury, I'm going to need for you to put me on this phone or bring somebody out here who has more knowledge about this than you do. Because anytime that you tell me you closed my account for suspicious activity, I'm going to need the proof that you really believed that, number one, and you have the evidence to show that there was a reason why you suspected this account of having some suspicious activity, and the proof of that is you took it there. You followed the protocol. If in fact this account has some suspicious activity, I need to see where you filed the report with the federal agencies that govern this, and in addition to the Department of the Treasury. So if in fact you were told that, okay, we're gonna need to see exactly why this happened. And I know that I'm going to be notified. Like, you can't go on that whole, well, we reserve the right not to notify you and all that stuff. And when I walk into the bank, you got somebody who's saying, oh no, this was suspicious. Okay, I need the documentation, boo. I need the documentation. Don't go in there and get mishandled. And don't allow people to mishandle you over the phone either, okay? There is a remedy. So for the individual who wrote in and said that the bank told you that your account was closed due to suspicious activity, you're going to need to see the documentation, and you would have been notified some type of way that something has gone on to whereas there was a report filed, okay? And I'm talking the specific transactions that alerted the financial institution that there was something suspicious happening, okay? So I want to answer that. The other situation that one of you emailed about as it relates to the reason why you were told your account was closed was due to some fraudulent transactions. Okay, so now let me just explain some things to the secured entrepreneurs. The financial institution, if you're a person who you write checks, they bounce, you're consistently overdrawn, okay, that is a risk for the financial institution. You bounce checks, you're consistently overdrawn, they're covering fees. this is an issue for the financial institution.
Also, the other thing is if you try to go into the bank and deposit a large amount of cash, that's a little red flag. Okay, we know that way back, the financial institutions stopped taking our cash anyway, and a lot of you got freaked out. You were saying that you went to the bank to deposit some money in your parents' account, they wouldn't let you. You went to the bank to deposit some money in your children's account, they wouldn't let you. Okay, so if you're trying, depending on what type of account you have, they're really not expecting you to try to take a whole bunch of cash up in there, okay? This is why it's so important for you to vet the financial institution that you want to be in partnership with, okay? Because you need one that's going to suit your financial needs, okay? So last, I want to answer the question for the individual who said that you recognize that you had your merchant account closed because of the plethora of chargebacks. Now, I want to tell the secured entrepreneurs that if in fact you are selling things online, and we know that this individual uses a particular platform, is very popular, it's based in China, okay, the products were not getting to the customers within the proper amount of time. All right, we're in the Amazon world, so it's like next day, 2 day, 3 day, and you weren't able to say, well, it's going to take 5 to 7 days. You weren't able to say that because things were taking 15 to 30 days. So now in the fourth or fifth day, you're going to have chargebacks because people are like, where are the things that I ordered? Okay, so you know that you had so many of these chargebacks that the bank was like, okay, this has got to go. So now you have to go through the changes as it relates to getting this thing back together, and you're going to have to make some phone calls, improve some things, and change some things. Okay, you might even need to change your merchant, or follow their protocol as to how it is they're going to assist you in reinstating that account. Okay, for the individual who said that you had the charge off, you recognize that the account was closed because of the overdraft fees and things of that nature. You want to know how to get reinstated. Well, first of all, that's up to the bank, because they're going to review the reason why the account was closed to begin with. Okay, now the charge off situation, as far as the collections, they're supposed to give you 60 days. Whether that actually happens or not, we don't know, because we know that the bank, they're doing what they want to do. They're handling it the way that they desire to handle it. Okay, so you're going to have to make that call, and you're going to have to follow the protocol. Okay, so now for those of you who have not signed up for the 7-figure exit training, I want you to go to AurorahDayConsulting.com, sign up for the training, watch that juicy training, get on Miss Aurorah's calendar so we can make 2022 the greatest. Okay, so now you all know that you can find me at AurorahDayConsulting.com, and until next time, ta-ta.